Being a reseller is hard. It's hard work. You're by yourself all day, usually. Especially if you're a one man or one woman show and this is your full time gig. Now, if it's your side hustle, it's still a lot of hard work because you're doing it on top of another job. But man, when you do it by yourself, and I know most of you guys are, you get doubts, you worry, you probably don't get as much sleep as you did beforehand. Just a lot of thoughts linger in your head about, did I pick the right job? Did I pick the right path? It's hard work. It's really hard work. And I think a lot of us out there, we're grinding. But the best part about it is it's a fun grind. And not every second is, because the hidden secret about being a reseller is, in your previous job or your current job, you may be responsible for one thing, right? One area, one part of your company or business that you're at. But as a reseller, you're everything, right? You're the picker, you're the cleaner, you're the lister, you're the pricing manager, you're the shipper, your customer service, your accounting, you're all that stuff, right? And the buck stops with you. So if you slack off in any of those areas, your business is going to suffer. And so any little thing that pops up could be a setback. And for myself, I always have to remind myself now, especially, don't let the little things get to you. Don't let them take away from what you are striving to do, which is to build a flexible business that works around what your goals are for whether personally or with your family, all that type of stuff. And that's what I always have to remind myself is, I did corporate jobs for 18 years-ish. Yeah, 18, 19 years. I was in the corporate world. And you working for the man, there's a lot of good and bad when it comes to that, right? You're stuck on the clock, working a lot of evenings still, working weekends, even though it's a corporate job. And depending on where you're at, you may be pigeonholed into a position, especially for where I got to when I went to a new company. Eventually there wasn't anywhere to move within that company. I could have gone somewhere else. And when I lost my job there after 6 years, when they started huge layoffs, I decided, what, did I want to go work for someone else again, or did I want to make my own future? And that's the key of being a reseller, is you can make your own future. You can make this job as big or as small as you want it to be. And that's what I enjoy the most. And I have to remind myself, hey, maybe when I went out to thrift that day and to source, I had a bad day of not finding stuff as I expected. Like yesterday, I went to 8 places and only 3 of them I found anything. 5 of the stores I walked out empty-handed, which is, for me, that's a hit to your ego when you can't find something there, where it just feels like it's picked over and stuff. And so then you start down, you're like, all right, am I doing the right thing? Am I going to the right places? Am I timing it right? Should I be doing that? Do I need to switch to online arbitrage? Do I need to switch to retail arbitrage? All those type of things based off of one thought. And it made me think about all those things for probably about 6 hours. Made me think about, do I need to pivot my business off of one day and one thought, and maybe about 3 hours of actually going sourcing and that happening. It made me think that way. So I had to take a step back, and I had to think to myself, why am I thinking like this? And it's because I'm the one-man band when it comes to my business. And I need to realize that when you are going through something like that and there's something negative that happens, I need to just take a step back and let it breathe. And that's what I'm going to start doing, and start thinking about that in more of a positive mindset when it comes to those type of things. Especially since there's so many awesome things about this job, about you being able to be flexible with it. I'm able to set my own schedule. I'm able to drop my son off at school. I'm able to pick him up. I'm able to take him to all of his activities, be at his activities, be home with him, play with him, see my wife, enjoy time with my wife, all those type of things. And I couldn't do that in a corporate job. I couldn't do that in probably a retail job. And so I have to remind myself, when one of those little negative things happen, am I going to dwell on it? Nah. I want to remind myself of all the positive things that happen. I'm going to know, and I'm going to remember that I can go and I can make this as good or as bad as possible. And that's really about just flipping your mindset on it. And that's what I got to remember to do. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that got to remember to do that. And I just really wanted to talk about this because I know there's a lot of ups and downs when it comes to reselling. And especially at this time of year, Q4 is coming right around the corner, but we're coming off the tide of coronavirus explosion sales, and so they're starting to drop right now. Fortunately for myself, they've still been pretty about level, but I know a lot of people it's dropping, and I know the mindset out there is like, oh no, it's starting to tank. But this is usually around the time of the year where it's the lowest anyway, so I gotta remind myself, hey, just keep grinding. Whatever product you find, get it listed. I got a huge death pile. I don't know why I was upset about having barely any inventory found yesterday when I got probably $3,000 worth of inventory that I could list right now. My clothes is just like off the hook. I got stacks and stacks of clothes I could list. That's the type of stuff I gotta remind myself that I should be doing as well. Like, hey, you didn't find anything today, but guess what? You got gold sitting there right in the corner that you could list tonight and be rolling in some money in the morning. It's those little things that just get to you at times. And for myself, I gotta remind myself not to let them get to me and just let them, roll off my back. And maybe just come back to it 2 days later and be like, okay, what was really the problem there? Was it luck or was it skill? And when it comes to picking, there's skill, of course, but a lot of times it's luck. If no one's turning stuff in and donating it, you're going to be shut out at that store. If there's a lot of competition on that store, you could be shut out at that store. If you don't time it when they're putting out, you could be shut out at that store. So when those negative things happen, I have to remind myself, write it down, come back to it maybe a few days later, take a deep analysis of it and see, was any of it something that I could have impacted, or was it outside factors? If it's outside factors, think about how you could put yourself into a better situation when it comes to that, better timing of when you're going, maybe changing your routes, maybe find better product, change your niche, all those type of things, just to make it a little bit easier for yourself. You just got to understand what changes you got to make, so then the next time you're not going to be in that situation again. So really, it's just not worrying about those little things and just focus on what is the long term here, what you're doing. And the long term is you're setting yourself up for a flexible business that you're going to be in control in. You're going to be in control of it. You are the driver of your business. You are the CEO, and what you put in is what you get out of it. And that's what I always think. I remind myself, like, hey, I put in the work. Not all the work is going to be fruitful, but you know what? You learn with every step you take, regardless if you're going the right direction or not, you're going to learn from that, because eventually you're going to see whether that step was correct or not. So thank you guys for listening to my rant, my mini rant here. I just, I know a lot of us are in the same situation, the same boat of running our resale business. I know there's a lot of full-time people that follow me. I know there's a lot of part-time people. There's even a lot of people that are thinking about getting into reselling. They're watching me. And it's sometimes this is the stuff that people don't talk about out loud. They keep it in. They think, oh, I'm failing. And really, it's everyone has doubts when it comes to their business. Everyone has doubts themselves. Everyone has doubts their skills. And really, it's just don't let it linger. Pack it up, move on to the next thing, and come back to it later. And you know what? It all gets better. There's a new day. You wake up the next day, you're refreshed. I know I am. I am looking forward to going to those same stores today and seeing if I could find stuff. I have a feeling that I am gonna find a lot of stuff today. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this, put a thumbs up in there. Maybe subscribe if you haven't already. I definitely would love and enjoy your guys' comments below of how you guys are dealing with this, how you guys deal with your reseller mindset, how you guys deal with negative and positive things happening to you, just the day-to-day struggles of being a reseller. Anything like that, I would love to hear from you guys below. And in the meantime, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.